Welcome, beautiful yogis. Let's practice together. Our practice is about relaxing. So we have an opening pose that is on 2 blocks with a blankie over. Your head would be on the higher block and your middle back, upper back really, would be on the flat block. And then we cover it with a blankie so it's not quite as hard. And your arms are in the gap here between the 2 blocks. Now, if you've tried this pose and prefer the long bolster setup, then please do that. So both these positions are beautifully opening for the heart space, for the shoulders. We know how much of our lives we spend hunched forward. So we'll counter that in our opening pose in our practice today. Get settled in, get comfy, and feel it all in your body. Both poses have relaxing draped arms, and both have this little push through this shoulder blades to open the sternum and heart area. Feel free, if you are using the 2 blocks in the way that I am, to use your bolster under your legs, or if the bolster is behind your back, you'll be in gobbler's pose feet. Let's take a deep nose breath in. Pause in the fullness of breath, and then slowly, pursed lips, let the breath go. We do that again. A very generous inhalation, your lung capacity to fullness. That little pause, and then that blowing away of your breath, slow and smooth. Powerful way to exhale. It doesn't happen by itself, so it has our attention. One more this way. Full pause and blow it away. Breathing in through your nose. Retain your breath, it's a pause. And this time, the nose exhales smoothly and slowly, taking your time to let that breath go all the way out until we have no breath left at all. The next inhale, please do a silent count of 4. Inhale 4. Pausing for 4 counts. The long, slow exhalation is for 8 counts. Modulate your counting to repeat 4 in, 4 pause, and 8 out. This is our opening breath practice in this open-hearted shape. Our mind now shaping, modulating, controlling each breath in this very specific way. Our mind aligned with the breath. This is where the magic comes in. when our mind is linked to the breath, it's not doing its monkey thing. So it's a training. This is a practice that we do over and over again. Stay with it. Stay in the shape. Stay in this particular breath pattern. And in that simple act of staying with the practice, the magic can open up. I invite you to continue this. This is the rhythm of life at this time. The ancient texts describe it this way. The inhalation, the return movement of breath, sustains life. The outgoing breath purifies life. These are the two poles between which respiration goes on unceasingly. And here's the magic. Between them is every delight you could desire. So even when the senses are turned outward and your attention on the external world, attend also to the inner throb, the pulsing of the creative impulse within you. And then the next time that you complete your exhalation, that long exhalation, take a little moment and just take a break from this pattern. Come into open awareness and feel and sense your state of being at this moment. Little shifts, little pulses. Sometimes we have the grace to drop into stillness very quickly. Other days, not quite so. And so we know this about ourselves. We know this about weather conditions and seasonal conditions and emotional conditions. We ride the waves of all that is at this time. Resting now in that open awareness, little reflection on your own state of being. We get pretty caught up in the mundanities of life, and this takes us out of that, takes us into the realm of the sacred, makes our lives holy. They are, of course, but mostly we are oblivious. And so I love that you come and you practice over and over and over. Resting now in the open awareness of your own body and breath. If you have a prayer or an intention in your heart, just let that come into consciousness and add it to this moment. Talking, speaking, praying, with all that is, however you name that in your tradition. So many words that we can use. But it is the heart that knows. So beautiful, yogis. We're going to gently undo this opening pose where we're on our back with the heart space lifted. So gently roll over to your sides and we'll reorganize the props. So this time we're on the back with the hips lifted. So when we lie down, there would be nothing under the back, not even a little pillow blanket, because this time we're going to raise the hips. Now you could use your bolster to raise your hips, you could use a single flat block, or you could use your folded blanket to make it a little less of a lift. See where you're at today. So it's a nice counter pose because now that upper back is completely rested on the mat. Hips are raised. And get it just right for your body today. Maybe it worked last week, but not so much this week. It's all right. You can leave your knees bent. You can have your legs straight. And this feeling of arriving as though it were in a whole new place, a whole new shape, and a bunch of different physical sensations to experience, to tune into. And once you've arrived in a place that you feel you could stay, I invite you now to breathe the breath we call the square breath. And so now there are two pauses. We inhale, pause, exhale, and pause. And each of those are equal in length. So you could do a 4-count square breath or a 5-count square breath. See what feels lovely. And let it feel really nice as you get started. The lovely thing about getting started, the breath draws us in. It seduces us away from that monkey mind, pulls us in to the most delicious and lovely, pleasurable, joyful sensations of air moving, body moving. These turning points, the pauses. Enter these turning points where the rhythms of life transform into each other. Breath flows in, filling in this moment. Drink eternity. Breath flows out, emptying, offering itself to infinity. Cherishing these moments, mind dissolves into heart, heart dissolves into space. Body becomes a vibrating field, pulsating between fullness and emptiness. These lovely poetic words come, of course, from the Radiant Sutras. Not the first time you've heard them, and yet they resonate and ring again and touch a beautiful place within us. This square breath really makes place for the pauses. And the fourth verse of the Radiance Sutras describes that so nicely. At the end of the exhale, breath surrenders to quietude. For a moment, you hang in the balance, suspended in the fertile spaciousness that is the source of breath. And at the end of the inhale, filled with the song of the breath, there is a moment when you are simply holding the tender mystery. In these interludes, experience opens into exquisite vastness with no beginning and no end. Embrace this infinity without reservation. You are its vessel. 2 more rounds, please, of the square breath. As you arrive at the completing moment, let go of the breath and just drop into awareness, full awareness of your body. Witness your breath and to feel in deeply to the place you are now. We complete the raised hips position. Just push the bolster down towards your knees and give your knees a little hug. Just draw them in close to you. With your knees close to you, rock your lower body a little bit. If you find that your head is tilting back a little bit, then bring a pillow blankie under your head and we'll do a little reclining twist. So you've hugged your knees in, your head, and put your feet on the bolster or on the ground, doesn't matter. I'm going to take a little scooch to the right with your hips and the arms are out wide, and just take your right leg over your left. And then let both knees roll to the left. So your lower body is now relaxed into a twist, and your upper body is flat and spacious. And feel free, once you've got support in the back of the neck and back of the head, to let your chin, your face, roll to the right. So your right ear would be closer to the blankie or the ground. Feel into this shape now. It should feel comfortable. If it's too much on your low back, and you'd feel that into your right hip and your right side of your low back. You can always put a prop under your knees to bring the ground up, as it were. If all is well, linger here, body at ease, really without props other than the head pillow. And let your attention be now on the feeling of the breath through the right side of your body. Feeling how the right lung, the right ribs move with each breath. And bring it to places where you haven't felt it yet. And now that we're here, connected to breath and sensations and movement of ribs, lengthening, we'll add a breath pattern. And so here, the inhale is for 6 counts, the exhale is for 6 counts, and then we rest without breath for 6 counts. See how that goes. Three equal parts to the breath. The pause now is at the end of the exhalation. When we are empty of breath, we count to 6. Or if your triangle is smaller, stay in touch with each part of the breath. So we have one more cycle of our shaped breath here. Which, as you complete it, completing that hold on empty, so vital, vital, vital to rest in that pause. To let go of the shape of the breath, to allow the breath to breathe you, to stay as you are and turn deeply inwards to the allowing and the receiving place. Without any effort at all. Deeper and deeper into your own being in this shape, still feeling the body's offerings of sensation. And now we'll bring the knees up. You can uncross them to make it a little easier or help it along with your hands. Come up. Come to the center line, your feet, if the bolster is still there, just use the bolster to realign your lower back to the middle. And then realign your lower back to the left of center and wrap the left thigh over your right. And this time we'll let the knees and the hips relax to the right and your chin to the left. And let yourself get really comfy. And so you'd think this would feel the same, but for most of us, we're going to find that there's a little area of tightness that's not quite the same as the first side. And that's how it is. Come into that acceptance, get comfy, adjust, and then stay. And come into the triangle breaths. Remember, your face is looking the other way to your knees, your hips. We're breathing in for 6, out for 6, and resting in the pause of no breath for 6 counts also. And even as we shape the breath, we can feel the body respond. Take it slow because we have left clock time. We are in the sacred realm. We are in eternal time. Beautiful commitment, yogis. Complete the cycle that you're on. Stay as you are, letting go the breath patterning and come into the allowing and receiving place, where we enter more deeply into your own being. The growing quietude, the deeper stillness. Allow it. Go deeper. I know it's not easy to get to these places, but when we do, we might as well just stay. Very gently make your way back up with your legs. Might need your arms to help. Uncross the legs. This time, if the bolster's still there, just push it out of the way and just take a moment to feel your feet parallel. Tuck your tail and just lift your hips up an inch or two above the ground. And bring it back down. Rolling to your side, we'll set up for our next pose, which is going to be the seated forward bend. We make that little tabletop with the 2 blocks and the bolster. So after the twist, we take a midline stretch, and that midline is along the trunk of the body, especially the back, and it can include the legs. So see if you want to have cross legs or straddle legs as you position yourself to lie forward and rest your brow. And once you're here, the breath has access without any restrictions of the twist to flow equally to both lungs. The sensations of the breath across the entire back, both on the inhalation and on the exhalation. Awakening the dormant places into breath awareness to bring more of the body online. In this position, let's do this breath pattern where the inhale is now for 4 counts, the hold is 7 counts, and the exhale is 8 counts. There's only one hold, and that's this time at the full breath. Four in, 7 hold, 8 out. Can you stay with the pattern? Staying in this forward bend, when you complete the cycle that you're on, rest in open awareness. Breath flows in its own natural way. And the text says the following. There is a space in the heart where everything meets. Come here if you want to find me. There's a space in the heart where everything meets. Come here if you want to find me. Mind, senses, soul, eternity, all are here. Are you here? Enter the bowl of vastness that is the heart. Listen to the song that is always resonating. Give yourself to it with total abandon. Quiet ecstasy is here. Quiet ecstasy. And a steady, regal sense of resting in the perfect spot. You who are the embodiment of blessing, once you know the way, the nature of attention will call you to return. Again and again, answer that call and be saturated with the knowing, I belong here. I am at home. Beautiful yogis, slowly make your way up to a seat, an upright seat from the forward bend, and let's practice alternate nostril breathing. It's such a good place in the sequencing to do that here and upright. You know what to do. Your right hand thumb lightly closes your right nostril, leaving the left inhale for 4 counts. Close it up, hold your breath for 7 counts. And open your right nostril now to exhale for 8 counts. Holding that right side open, inhale for 4 counts. Close it up, hold your breath for 7 counts. And now we switch sides to exhale left for 8 counts. Stay right here for the inhale of 4 counts. Close it up for the hold. And the right side exhales, feeling the sweetness of breath go out, long and complete. And the inhale is right here, 4 counts. And so now as you hold your breath, don't worry about counting, experience this moment. Switching side, exhale slowly out. And same side, breathes in. Close to hold. And switch to exhale. And stay to inhale. Breath flows in, which we now treasure, hold. And switch to exhale. All the way to empty, and at empty, same side, just breathe in. Close to treasure, to pause. And switch to exhale. And let the breath come pouring in, 4 counts. Close it up to hold. We release the breath through the left side, all the way to empty, and then let your hand rest down, but keep your attention inward. And allow the breath to take its natural course, be fully present. The feeling of space beginning to open up in the mind. These breathing practices, energy comes up the spine to create this open space in that higher center, the ajna. Let yourself abide here a moment. Beautiful, everyone. And now, without losing this sense of quietude and stillness, let's rearrange the props so that we can come down into Shavasana. So the bolster can be under your legs, the blocks can be under your feet if you like. Pull a blankie under your head as we come now to the deeper inward journey on our backs. Comfy on your back. Let it rest, let it be held. Let your legs just be heavy and resting over your props. Your arms are spacious. The sense of spaciousness. After the sitting, the lying down, we can really release all those spinal muscles. And feel the weight of your limbs, your arms and your legs. Just let them feel heavy. Your whole back and your head. Just weight that we hand over to the ground, to the props, to gravity, to Mother Earth, to just be held. And let the breath flow. We use the breath now to direct our attention and energy flow. And so as the inhale occurs, sense energy flowing from your head, down your back, all the way to the root, so the base of your torso. Be here at the end of the breath and relax on the pause. The inhale comes up the front of the body, letting that breath flow all the way up to the top of your head, where we pause again. And the exhalation flows down, 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 all the way back to the root. And rest. Rest in the no breath. And now the inhale flows up, all the way up your body, back to the crown of your head. Little pause. And the exhalation goes down again. Exhale, the feeling of energy moving down. And we're going to be empty, empty, empty at the root. And here comes the inhalation. Breathe it up. A little turnaround moment where we pause at the top. This time we take the exhalation down to the sacral energy, which is between your navel and your pubis. In your back body, it's that flat bone. And rest at your sacral. Feel into that energy. And then the energy flows up again with the inhalation, all the way to the top. Little holding moment. And exhale. Energy flows back down the body to rest at the sacral. No breath. Inhale up. Little hold. The exhale goes down again to the sacral area. Perhaps a little pulse on the no breath. And up comes the inhale. A little resting place at the top. This time the exhalation is going to flow down again, but only as far as your navel. To slow the exhale down, we've got less terrain to cover. as we rest at the navel. No breath. And bring it up. There's a pause at the crown. The exhale down again to the navel, slow, intentional. Rest at your navel. There's a swirling of energy here. Ready to breathe in, bring your energy up. Little pause at the top. We return again to the navel with this exhalation, where we rest again in the feeling at the navel, the swirling of aliveness, this wheel of light. And bring it back up. Little holding at the top. We're going to journey down again. This time we're coming to the heart. So slow down the exhalation. We've less terrain. Pause with the no breath at the heart. Feel into your heart with the no breath. And inhale up. Pause. Exhale back down slowly to your heart. Pause. And up we come. We pause at the top and then we get ready to exhale really slowly. We're only going as far now as the throat. So even if you feel you're exhaling at the throat, rest on empty. There's enormous charge building at the throat on that pause. Now breathe in. Back to the top. Exhale back to the throat. And we rest at the throat. Breathe into the top of your head. The journey is less because now we're going to exhale at the third eye point. Exhale through the brow and rest the pulse of your brow. Ready to breathe in, come back to the crown. Still the breath is slow and deep. The holding at the crown. And we return again to the third eye point. Exhale through that place and rest. And breathe into your crown. Pause and hold the breath at the crown. And this exhalation takes us into the heart space. And we're going to rest now in the normal breath, the natural breath at the heart. Easy flow of easy breath, resting at your heart. And being fully present at your heart. easy flow of breath. There are no pauses, but we're feeling deeply into the heart space. There is a space in the heart where everything meets. Come here if you want to find me. Mind, senses, soul, eternity, all are here. Are you here? Enter the bowl of vastness that is the heart. Listen to the song that is always resonating. Give yourself to it with total abandon. Quiet ecstasy is here. Quiet ecstasy is here, and a steady, regal sense of resting in a perfect spot. You who are the embodiment of blessing, once you know the way, the nature of attention will call you to return again and again. Answer that call and to be saturated with knowing, I belong here. I am at home. So resting at home in stillness. Resting at home in quiet ecstasy. as we rest in the heart, let's amplify the breath. Linking again with the breath, deepen your heart breath. Feeling that expanding and subsiding around your heart, just naturally but fully and easily. With all that you can feel now, and bring in gratitude. The gratitude, the appreciation of life as gift. This breath as gift. This heartbeat as gift. Allowing us to feel so full that we can now bestow it, endow this gift of this place that you have arrived in, as though to touch another heart with your energy. Choosing someone that you love, just send them that love through your heart, from your heart to theirs. And if there are more that you would like to gift with your love, with your heart energy, do it now. Know that we are together building these places of peace, coherence, islands of coherence that greatly influence and help the world that is so chaotic. This is where our magic is, in our heart. In this coherence. And so our practice, reaching completion. Feel free to draw your legs in or lie on your side or stay exactly where you are. You are free to do as you wish. If you are ready to complete, then join me in the seated position as we bow to one another in deep gratitude. Thank you for coming, participating, and bringing your love. Namaste.